Hi there, in this video I'm going to show you how you can use uh, classification for color coding and representing a layer. This is our block group. As we know, there are multiple um, fields here that they have different data for us, income, rent, percentage of different um, race groups, etc. I'm going to use that for um, mapping my um, layer. For that, we are going to symbology. If you don't see that symbology window, you can open this using this symbology on the property on the right click of the map, and then we can go to graduated colors. In graduated colors, my map going to have multiple um, categories, and each category has one color, and it's graduated color because it's a continuous value, and we are mapping a continuous variable here. But which variable? Now here we have to set the variable that we want to map. In this case, for example, median household income. And as you can see, you can have different color ramps for that. Um, and choosing a good color ramp. Be careful about color ramps and make sure that you have an appropriate direction. For example, high could be, if it is density, high could be a little bit maybe stronger color than low. But here in terms of income, I don't think the directional color really matters, but you can also use different methods for your classification. Why is that important? If you uh, we have a histogram. Let me find the histogram here. Here's the histogram. So you can here you can see how your data is distributed. Um, this is the zero. We have some zero numbers. Would be good if we also eliminate those zeros. So I'm going to do that actually. Going to the properties of this layer to definition query and saying that all the median household income greater than zero. So it is not equal here, equal to zero. So those zeros are mostly parks and lands without residential areas. They are now eliminated. As you can see, your histogram also is is updated. Um, so we can see that we have some block groups that are between 0 and let's say 30. Um, and most of the block groups fall in this category between 30 and 60, and then you have a big accumulation around 30, 60, and then 60 to 90, maybe less than that, 60. This could be yeah, around 78, and then the rest of it. So first thing is you can change your classification method. The classification method is where are we putting the line to separate the categories. I'm going to use with natural breaks. Natural breaks puts um, the line of these classes normally in those places that there is a jump, a natural jump, and you can read about that here in the natural breaks or janks. Quantile will distribute or um, classes or will distribute or block groups in equal um, buckets or equal bins, and if we have 100 block groups, for example, each of the classes will have even sizes. If it is 4 classes, they're going to be 25, 25, 25. So quantile is always an interesting method for me because it just distributes these in evenly in different classes. Um, and you can also set number of classes here. You can say 5, 4. There are other classification methods. I often start with one of these, whether it is natural breaks or quantile, and then you can add your own um, break point. For example, here I want to put a break here. Right click on there, insert a break. That way you can change these yourself a little bit and say I want this classification. As you can see, the map is being updated um, when I'm moving these um, lines. We can come to the classes, and here you can set the number yourself and make it a round number, 30,000. Make this, for example, 60,000. Make this 75. Maybe 100. 160. And the last number is the maximum number, so you don't really want to change that. And you can go back and see your breakpoints are located here. You might decide to change these a little bit, maybe 30 to 50 would be a better breakpoint there. So these are all subjective, and the way you change these numbers will create different map, and that map gonna look different. The hotspots of the map gonna look different. So that's the subjectivism of that. If you want to really focus on something, already in this map you can see the hotspot of income in the city. Parts of Brooklyn, Manhattan, they are very clear that they have higher income, and the Bronx also is very clear that it is a lower income. So you can use these numbers based on, for example, if you have some literature that tells you um, the income brackets are in these categories, you can use that. Um, in histogram, also you can see this is the average of median household income for this data set. We eliminated zeros, so that's 64 without zeros. So that would be very helpful. And now you are ready to map this. One thing here is, again, you see these the outline colors. If I go to the layout view of this map, and I'm going to show you something here. Always make sure that the map looks okay in the layout view, and um, zoom into your page to see how it looks like. For me, the outline colors are still a little bit thick, so you can go to your symbology window, and here under more you can find um, format all symbols, and now we can go to properties, and if I change these, all the symbols uh, will uh, will change. So for example, I'm going to say I'm going to use a black outline color. I mentioned that black outline color often is really good for um, making the colors pop up. And a thin, very thin apply. Um, outline color would help. This is maybe too thin, maybe 1.1. Yeah, it's much nicer. So this is, I would say it is much better than the default colors, and you can see the block separation, and also still the hotspots of the map is very clear now. You have to be very careful about presentation and choosing your color ramps, using your symbols, outline colors, and outline width to make sure that your map uh, really